Hello and welcome back. Now we've created a functional ammo pickup, but when we hover our cursor over it, we're not getting any widget to pop up. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and create an ammo widget. So let's get started. Let's go ahead and go in our _game/HUD folder, and we're going to create a new widget blueprint. So right click and under user interface, select widget blueprint. And let's call this ammo pickup widget. Go ahead and double click ammo pickup widget. Now, first off, we're going to delete the canvas panel and we're going to go up next to screen size where it says fill screen and we're going to select custom. That way we can make this as big or as little as we want. So go ahead and scale it to about a rectangle shape. And we're going to need an overlay. So if we do an overlay, we can drag that right on here. This will allow us to stack things on top of each other. Okay, so now we want to add some boxes to this. I want this to have some sections here so that we can have an ammo icon, an ammo count, and an icon showing us which key to press to pick up the item and so on. So first I'm going to divide this into 3 boxes, a left, a middle, and a right. And to do that we can use a horizontal box. So let's click the palette and search for horizontal box and drag one right in. Now that's going to be a child of the overlay. So select the horizontal box. Let's set its horizontal and vertical alignment to fill so it fills the whole overlay. And now we can add some more boxes here. Now I want 3 sections. Now for the leftmost box, I want to split it vertically into a top and bottom. So this one is going to be a vertical box. So let's search for a vertical box and drag that onto the horizontal box. So it's a child of the horizontal box. Now, the other 2 boxes can be horizontal boxes. So search for horizontal box and drag that onto the horizontal box. Let's add 2 of those for a total of 3 boxes. So we have the original horizontal box, which has 3 children, 1 vertical and 2 horizontal. Let's name the vertical box left box. It's going to have more boxes in it. And the 2 horizontal boxes, we'll name them ammo icon box and ammo text box. Now let's set these all to fill. So for the left box, set it to fill here in the details panel, and for the fill amount, let's give it 0.4. Select the ammo icon box, select fill for the size, and let's give this one a size of 0.25. Next, select the ammo text box, set that to fill, and let's give this one 0.35. And now you'll see that we have 3 sections here. We have our left box, the middle one is called ammo icon box, and the right one is called ammo text box. Now, we wanted this left box to have a couple of boxes in it, so let's drag 2 boxes in. Doesn't matter if they're horizontal or vertical, but we're going to drag them onto the left box. So we can drag them here in the panel, or we can drag them onto the left box in the hierarchy. Either one is fine, but drag 2 of them onto the left box so the left box has 2 children. It's very easy to get this messed up and drag it onto the wrong section, but if you do, just click and drag until you have it on the correct spot. And you can tell if boxes are children of another box because the parent box has a drop down, and if you click the drop down, then the children will disappear. So left box has 2 horizontal boxes. Click each one and select fill. For the first horizontal box that's a child of left box, let's rename this button icon box. Button icon box. And for the second one, we're going to call this pickup text box. Pickup text box. Now, I'm going to set button icon box to have a fill value of 0.6, and I'm going to set pickup text box to have 0.4. And now you'll see that the top one has slightly more height than the bottom one. Okay, so we've partitioned this off into a bunch of different boxes. Now, because we added an overlay, we can have an image behind all these boxes and stack things on top of that image. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to stick an image on the overlay. So let's search the palette for image and take an image and drag that onto overlay. So now we have image here and it shows up all the way at the bottom, but if we take our horizontal box and close the drop down, we'll see that image is not a child of the horizontal box, but rather it's a child of the overlay. Set this image to fill horizontally and vertically, and let's go into Appearance where we have Color and Opacity. Click that bar and we get our color picker. Now for the value strip here, we're going to drag it all the way down to black, but we're going to take our alpha and we're going to set this to 0.5. And that way it's black, but it's slightly transparent. Go ahead and click OK. So now we have this sort of dark tint behind all these boxes. I'm going to take this image here and rename it to background image. Okay, let's expand our horizontal box drop down and expand the left box and click on button icon box. That's the upper left box here. We want to have a button icon. Now for our button icon, we're going to want another overlay so that way we can stack things on top of each other. Namely, what we're going to want is we're going to want a button icon, that's like a circle icon, and on top of that, we're going to put a text so we can have a letter here. So in the button icon box, let's search for overlay. And we'll stick that on the button icon box. Click the overlay and select fill and make sure it's filling horizontally and vertically. Now, in order to put an icon and have our icon centered in the middle, and also we don't want our icon stretching if we stretch this widget, we're going to use a canvas panel. So search for canvas panel and stick that on top of the overlay. Now select the canvas panel, and for horizontal and vertical alignment, we're going to select fill, and now we have a canvas panel on our overlay. On this canvas panel is where we're going to stick our icon. So we can search for image, and we can stick an image onto the canvas panel. Let's select that image and rename that icon. Okay, so now that we have an icon, we're going to anchor it to the middle. Since we have a canvas panel, we can anchor it. So in the anchors dropdown, click it and select the center one. And now we're anchored to the middle. Now our icon image is going to be 30 by 30 pixels. So set the size X and size Y to 30, and now we have a 30 by 30 image. And we can position it in the X and Y to -15. This -15 is in relation to the anchor. And since we're setting it to -15 in the X and Y, our image is perfectly centered in the middle of our canvas panel. Now we can set the image for this. So click on icon, and in the details panel, under appearance, click the drop down to open brush, and for image, we can select the drop down, and let's search for the image called icon circle outlined 2. And that's this icon that's simply a gray circle. Okay, great. Now, since we added an overlay, we can stack things on top of this, and we're going to put a text right on top of the icon. We can do that by searching for text and dragging a text onto the overlay. Let's call this text icon text. Now make sure that the text is on the overlay itself. Select the text, and here in the content for the text box, we're going to simply type E so that our text has a value of the letter E. Let's set the font size. We'll put it to about 12, and let's change the font. So I'm looking for a good font. So I found this Head Human Heavy font. That seems like a pretty decent font. So I'm going to select that. And up here for horizontal and vertical alignment, I'm going to select center so it's in the middle. Now notice everything's tinted a little bit, and that's because our background image is all the way at the bottom of our original overlay. If we click this and drag it all the way up to the top just under the original overlay, then our background image is on here first, which means everything underneath it will be on top. So now these things are not tinted dark. I'll go ahead and select my icon text, and for outline settings, I'd like to give it an outline size of 1, so now our letter has a black outline. And that's going to take care of our icon. Now for this text box just beneath it, I'm going to put a text in here. So let's click text and drag it on to this box. Make sure it's on the pickup text box, and I'm going to call this pickup text. I'm going to set the font size. Let's set it to about 12. Now let's set the font for this. Now I'm going to actually go and look at the pickup widget BP and see what we used here. It looks like for the E for this one we used Head Human Bold Expand font. it'd be nice if we kept that consistent. So let's go to Ammo Pickup Widget and select Head Human Bold Expand. Let's search for that. There we go. So now it's the same E. And now for the pickup text, it looks like we used the Brittany Sans font. So I'm going to go ahead and use that here. So I'm going to search for the Brittany Sans font. And there we go. Now for the text on this, it's just going to simply say pickup. So pick up. And this is an all caps font, so it doesn't matter what caps we use. Now we're going to scroll up and set this to fill, and we're going to set these alignments to both center. Okay, this is looking good, and we can go ahead and scale out this, and you'll see that the button itself is not scaling according to the scale of the widget. So that's exactly what we wanted. Okay, so now let's take a look at our ammo icon box. This is where we want an icon for our ammo. Now, in order to put an icon, we're going to want a canvas panel so we can anchor it to the middle. So drag a canvas panel onto this box and select fill, and so it's going to be filling the box. Now on the canvas panel, we can add an image. Drag that on top. And now we have an image in our canvas panel, and I'm going to call this image ammo icon. Let's set the anchor to center, and again, this is going to be a 30 by 30 icon, so let's make this 30 by 30 for size X and Y, and -15 for X and -15 for Y, and now it's going to be exactly in the middle. And now we can finally set the image for this icon. So here under Brush, select Small Ammo. And now we have our small ammo icon. I think this is enough for this video, so let's go ahead and end this here, and in the next video we'll continue by working on the right box. We'll see you in the next video.